You know what's fascinating about luck? Research shows that people who consider themselves lucky actually just notice 4 times as many opportunities than those who don't. And that brings us to an incredible story from Malawi, Africa, that completely changes how we think about destiny.
That's quite a claim about luck. What's the connection to Malawi?
Well, it centers around William Kamkwamba, whose story became The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. During a devastating famine, this teenager built a working windmill from scrap parts, using physics books he could barely read. The author of this fascinating book, Decode Your Destiny, actually traveled to William's village while working in Malawi to understand how this kind of extraordinary achievement happens. And you know what? The story changed the author's perspective about human resilience and the so-called luck.
Hmm. So we're talking about more than just random chance here. How does someone turn such desperate circumstances into opportunity?
That's exactly what led the author to develop something called the Destiny Quadrant while staying by Lake Malawi. You know how we typically think luck is just random? Well, studies show that people who seem lucky actually follow specific patterns of behavior that create opportunities.
Oh, interesting. So there's actually a structure to what we perceive as pure luck?
Exactly. The first quadrant is what we call good luck. But here's the mind-blowing part. Research shows it's actually the result of preparation meeting opportunity. Like, successful entrepreneurs typically try 3.8 ventures before hitting their big break.
Well, that certainly challenges the overnight success narrative we usually hear. What about the flip side? Bad luck.
The second quadrant, bad luck, or twist of fate, happens when our vulnerabilities collide with challenges. But get this, studies of resilient individuals show they experience just as many setbacks as others, they just respond differently.
So you're saying our response to bad luck matters more than the bad luck itself?
Exactly. And that leads to the third quadrant, resilience, or unbreakable will. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that resilient people share 3 key traits. They view challenges as temporary, maintain strong social connections, and learn from every setback.
That's fascinating because it suggests we can actually develop resilience rather than just being born with it.
Right. And this connects to the fourth quadrant, which the author calls whispers of lost hopes. These are opportunities we can see but can't grasp because we're not prepared. The author developed an empowerment matrix around 4 elements: wisdom, wealth, wellness, and work.
You know what's striking about this framework? It seems to bridge the gap between pure chance and personal agency.
That's the real breakthrough here. The author introduces something called the Golden Triangle. Think of it as a GPS for destiny. It combines a mirror of self-reflection, map for strategic planning and navigation, and a mentor for guided transformation. Studies show people who use similar frameworks are 42% more likely to achieve their goals.
But how does this account for systemic barriers that some people face?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. The author acknowledges these barriers but points to research showing that understanding these principles can help people maximize whatever opportunities are within reach. Studies of successful individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds consistently show they excel at pattern recognition and preparation.
So it's about working with what you have while building capacity for more?
Exactly. And here's what's fascinating. Neuroscience research shows our brains are actually wired to spot opportunities that align with our preparation. When we're prepared, we literally see possibilities that others miss.
That really changes how we should think about success stories, doesn't it?
Completely. And what's really powerful is how this framework has been validated across cultures. The author found similar patterns in successful individuals from different countries, suggesting these principles are truly universal.
You know what I'm wondering about? How does this translate into practical action for someone starting from scratch?
The book guides us on 3 key steps. First, build what psychologists call your opportunity radar by staying curious and informed. Second, develop multiple areas of competence. Studies show that innovation often happens at the intersection of different skills. And finally, maintain what the author calls your resilience reservoir, a combination of social support, healthy habits, and continuous learning.
That's quite a shift from just hoping luck will find us.
And that's really the key message here. While we can't control everything, the author equips us with practical tools and techniques that we have far more influence over our destiny than we might think. The book indicates that people who understand these principles report feeling more in control of their lives and experience better outcomes across multiple measures of success.
Thank you, Liam, for sharing such an amazing book summary with us. Dear friends, this podcast was based on the newly published book Decode Your Destiny by Farooq Khan, an experienced development professional with extensive global travel history. The book is available on Amazon in all formats. Have a good day and see you in the next podcast.